नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
सारा आकाश में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूँ विजय लक्ष्मी और ये मेरे दोस्त पीताम्बर हैं। नमक और तेल की दुनिया में मासूमियत भरा प्यार खो जाता है। बहुत समय बाद संयोगवश सिंदूर की रोशनी में वो पल भर के लिए फिर से जगमगा उठता है। मेरे मित्र पीताम्बर द्वारा लिखी गई ये कहानी सुनिए कि कैसे एक बिछड़ा हुआ दोस्त सिंदूर की रक्षा करने में मदद करता है। सिंदूर।
The car was speeding at 110 kilometers an hour on the coastal highway overlooking the sea. It was like a marine drive for Parimal. He never went to sleep while traveling in a car. He sat in the front seat next to the driver. He always enjoyed sitting there, unlike the VIPs who sat in the rear seat. He was listening to a Hindi song, the meaning of which was, "What is the meaning of the whole world without you?" His eyes were moist. "It is good, it is not real," Parimal smiled to himself. He loved to create an imaginary tragic situation to experience the pang of separation, the eternal sadness of life. Suddenly, he saw a huge crowd on the road. His car slowed down to find way forward. They crossed the agitated crowd with utmost respect. Someone wanted to stop their car, but others allowed the passage. It was a huge relief. But as the car was about to pick up the speed, Parimal asked his driver to find out the cause of commotion. Why did someone want us to stop? He wondered. His driver Manu came running to tell him that there was an accident and the man driving the car was seriously injured. The people were waiting for an ambulance and the police. Parimal instantly got down from his car and rushed to the spot. People told him that the injured driver was an unknown passerby and nobody was there to take any responsibility. Parimal offered to take him to hospital and the young people helped him to be shifted to Parimal's car. Before Parimal took to the wheel, he informed the police. He asked Manu to treat the men with first aid available in their kit. The nearest hospital was 10 kilometers away. Soon the injured man was taken to the emergency. The doctor looked at Parimal and said, "The operation is needed urgently, but please go ahead. Money is not an issue. He must live," Parimal said. He deposited the amount as asked by the staff. The injured man was rushed to the operation theatre. The police arrived. Parimal showed his card, Parimal Das, Advocate, Supreme Court. "Is he your relative?" The policeman said. "No, I do not know who he is," Parimal said. "Oh, I see. Can you please wait for some time?" The policeman said. "Yes, as long as you want. All I have to say is that it is a hit and run case," Parimal said. The policeman filled up a few forms with necessary preliminary information as given by Parimal. Then a young man arrived with a small handbag and a mobile from the injured man's car. The police found out the identity of the man and immediately informed his family that lived some 100 miles away. By the time all formalities were over, the nurse informed the police that the injured man was out of danger. The police thanked Parimal and asked, "Could I seek your help if the need arises in future?" "Of course," Parimal assured him of all help and requested the policeman not to reveal his identity to the family. The policeman smiled. Next morning, Parimal flew to Delhi, leaving the accident behind. One evening, Aniket came with a visiting card. Parimal looked at the card. Pranit Agrawal, Chairman, Sumit Motors. What does he want from me? They have their own law firm. Please allow him in, Parimal said. Aniket returned with three members. One of them was an advocate colleague of the Supreme Court. Parimal was very surprised but got up to receive them at the door. All three people occupied seats in front of the table. Aniket sat left of the table with a notepad. I will come straight to the point. This is my son Sumit, CEO Pranit Space. 2 years ago, he and his three friends were driving in a BMW car on the coastal highway of Odisha when an accident happened. The BMW hit a Maruti car, and the man in the Maruti car was severely injured. Sumit was the driver. He saw an angry crowd, Pranit said. Before I could think anything, I had pressed the accelerator and disappeared from the scene. I deeply regret my decision, Sumit said. What can I do to help you in this case? Parimal said. You were the one who saved the gentleman's life, Sumit said. The police could not refuse my request about the identity of the nobleman. When I came to know about you, you rose like the sun in this dark lost case. I do not want to trouble you, Advocate Dushyant said. But it is my son's life. He is a good boy. Pranit broke down, but quickly recovered to say, this is just a request. Parimal looked at Sumit, a young entrepreneur who could walk miles, and then he looked at his colleague Dushyant. I am here to add a little weight to the request. If you please, sir, Dushyant said. He looked at Pranit and said, I recall a young man who handed over a small bag and the mobile of the gentleman. I do not know if the police have been able to persuade him to become a witness as he refused to be involved in the case in any way. He was very busy in his new startup work. This is what he said. The police acceded to his request, but I think he may be of tremendous help. He was present on the scene, and besides, his conscientiousness is beyond doubt, Parimal said. Thank you, sir. We'll urgently explore the possibilities. It is indeed a great help, Dushyant said. Will you not speak a word for me? Sumit said. His voice was choked with emotion, as if his one word would save his life. Let me see, Parimal said with a smile. But we'll wait, Pranit said. The final hearing was too intense and too heavy for Pranit and Sumit to bear. The young man had promised to turn up, but the conversation with him did not give any hope of a change in the course of the justice. The government leader was confident of booking the rich, young, reckless driver. He presented his final witness and almost clinched the issue. The charge that the BMW driver was reckless and drunk was almost proved as the key witnesses vouched on their words. Sumit's lawyer, with the experience of the Supreme Court, presented the young man as the eyewitness. As he was about to climb into the witness box, he saw a man entering into the courtroom. He greeted him and smiled. Everyone looked in that direction. Dushyant, Pranit, Sumit rushed to welcome him. Sumit was overwhelmed with emotion to see him. What is your name? Dushyant said. My name is Kabi, and I am an entrepreneur. On the fateful day, I was present on the spot, and I remember vividly how the accident happened, Kabi said. How was the driver of the BMW driving? Dushyant said. Very fast. The road looked free, Kabi said. Which car jumped the lane? Dushyant said. BMW, without a shred of doubt, Kabi said. That brought smiles on the face of the government pleader and the police. There was nothing left for the accused, the victim and his wife, the people who gathered there clenched their fists. The guilty must be punished. Does that prove that the driver was drunk and reckless? Dushyant said. I don't think he was reckless and drunk. He was driving straight and fast, but suddenly something happened. He turned his car to the left, Kavi said. Dushyant saw an opening which they had been waiting for. No one believed in Sumit that there was something on the road that forced him to turn the car. What happened? Dushyant said. There was something like a big stone on the road. I think that made the driver take a sudden turn, Kavi said. What did the driver do after he hit the car? Dushyant said. He looked back. His friends were urging him to move on. I was running to the accident spot. I saw the man's face. He was full of remorse. I don't think he was drunk, Kavi said, with a clear voice. Can you recognize the driver? Dushyant said. Yes, he's sitting over there. Kavi pointed at Sumit. Thank you, your witness, Dushyant said to the government pleader. The government pleader, who had done everything to prove that the driver was drunk and reckless, found himself at his wits' end. He questioned him repeatedly, played with words, trying to put words into his mouth, but it was all in vain. The only question that remained to be proved was if there was a stone. Where was it? Why did it not appear on the photographs submitted by the police? A good question, but no answer. Sumit's lawyer was now full of hope. What his client had been telling had now been corroborated by an eyewitness. The police looked puzzled. Dushyant stood up to present Parimal as a witness, a person who saved the life of the victim. Everybody clapped at him as he climbed to the witness box. Your name? Dushyant said. Parimal Das, Advocate, Supreme Court, Parimal said. The court would like to know what happened on that day, Dushyant said. I happened to pass by that way on the fateful day. I did not see the accident happen, but I took the victim with me in my car to hospital where with prior information to the police. But when the victim was being taken to the car, my driver had taken a few photographs. There was indeed a big stone on the left lane, almost in the middle, as could be seen in this photograph. Now, the question is, where did the stone go? It is still lying on the left side below the road. Probably a few good Samaritans had pushed the stone down the road to avoid any further accident. This photo was taken yesterday. It can be verified, he said, and handed over the two photographs to the judge. If we examine the stone from its placement on the road, it would have taken 4 lives had the BMW hit the stone. But the driver carefully and skillfully avoided the stone to unfortunately hit the car on the right. The big relief is that the man injured is alive, Parimal said. As he came down the witness box, the policeman said, Whose side are you on? On the side of justice. Parimal smiled. Sumit nodded his head. The judgment is kept reserved until the police establishes the existence of the stone. But one thing can safely be said that the driver was neither reckless nor drunk. He has carefully and skillfully saved 4 lives. It is an unfortunate accident, but the victim has survived, the judge said. Outside the courtroom, someone called, Parimal Bhai. Parimal looked back, astonished. He knew her. The voice was familiar. Maybe some 30 years ago, this sweet voice rang in his ears. Lippy? He said. How come you are here? I live with my husband here, the man who met with an accident, and you saved his life like an angel, Lippy said. Lippy, I can't believe I will meet you like this. I will have a cup of coffee in your house, Parimal said. Really? Lippy could not believe her luck. Her husband greeted him with profound gratitude. Parimal shook his hands warmly. Lippy took Parimal round her house, and when she found him alone, said, "Do you remember? You visited our house and sat on that big palanca, a cot measuring 8 feet by 8 feet. I opened the window. You looked at that vast, deep pool of water like a lake. You said, 'Wow,' and smiled. Sitting on the mat below, I looked on. Yes, that's where we met the first and the last time." Parimal quickly looked far away into that vast deep pool of water, like a lake trying to find land in the abysmal depth that hides the treasure of an unblossomed, unsaid, young, tender feelings of love. "I will take care of your gift, my Sindoor," Lippy said. Parimal smiled and walked into the crowd where Sumit whisked him away to the airport. Thank you.
किसी दुर्घटना के शिकार व्यक्ति को यूं ही अकेला ना छोड़ें। कौन जाने, शायद वह आपका सबसे करीबी रिश्तेदार हो। आज के लिए बस इतना ही। हम सारा आकाश पर एक और कहानी लेकर वापस आएंगे। नमस्ते।
Namaste.